You know, there's this one supplement, and it's hiding in plain sight. It's probably in the most intimidating aisle of the health store. But its real power has, believe it or not, almost nothing to do with building massive muscles. And look, I'll be the first to admit, this was me for a long, long time. I would see these giant tubs with these really flashy labels and just think, no, not for me. It just screamed, 20-year-old guys trying to look like the Hulk. Turns out that assumption was keeping me from one of the most effective, well-researched tools for long-term health. But then I gave it a try, and just 1 month in, taking a small daily dose, the changes were, well, they were undeniable. That classic 3 p.m. brain fog, it started to just lift. My joints felt less creaky in the morning, and I just had this sense of functional strength, not bulk, but just a feeling of being more capable in my day-to-day life. So what is this stuff? What's this powder that gets so typecast and overlooked by so many of us? It's time we pull back the curtain on all that marketing and just look directly at the science. Okay, the big reveal. The supplement is creatine monohydrate. Now, before you click away thinking this is all about lifting heavy weights, let's just dismantle some of these myths. See, creatine doesn't have a science problem, it has a marketing problem. I mean, just look at this breakdown. It's night and day, right? The myth is it's just for young athletes. The science? It's for anyone who wants to support their body's energy cycle. The myth says it causes puffiness. The science says it hydrates your cells from the inside. And the biggest one, people think it's some artificial chemical, when it's a compound your body already knows and uses every single day. And here's the thing you've really got to understand. Creatine is a fundamental part of our biology. Just think of it like a key worker on your body's energy production line. It helps create and reuse ATP, which is basically the high-energy molecule that fuels, well, literally everything you do. And this is exactly why supplementation can become so important, especially as we get a little bit older. You see, while you can get it from food, our natural reserves start to decline with age. And on top of that, if you're a vegetarian or you're just cutting back on red meat, your body's tank is probably running a little bit on the empty side. Okay, so let's dive into the first huge benefit. And honestly, it's a big one for anybody focused on healthy aging. Just maintaining your muscle. This is all about fighting back against that slow decline that can creep up on us, making sure we stay strong and independent for years to come. Now, the clinical term for this is sarcopenia. I know, it sounds a little intimidating, but it's really just the natural loss of muscle that happens as we get older. It's the reason why everyday tasks can slowly start to feel harder, and it's why maintaining our functional strength is just so critical. Get this, after the age of 40, we can lose about 1% of our muscle mass every single year. It's this slow, steady drain that can eventually lead to frailty and a higher risk of falls. But the good news is, it is not inevitable. So how in the world does creatine actually help with this? Well, let's use a really simple analogy. Imagine your muscle cells when they don't have optimal hydration. They're kind of like a raisin, a little shriveled up, less efficient, and definitely not functioning at their best. Now, creatine comes along, and it works by pulling water into your muscle cells. This is so important. We're talking intracellular hydration, not that puffy bloating people worry about. It basically turns that raisin back into a healthy, plump grape. And a hydrated cell is a healthier, more resilient cell that can do its job better and recover faster. And this really gets to the heart of the real-world benefit, doesn't it? The whole goal isn't to look like a bodybuilder. It's about feeling capable. It's about carrying your groceries without your arms aching, or getting up off the floor with ease after playing with your kids or grandkids. That feeling, that functional strength, it is truly priceless. But hey, the benefits do not stop with physical strength. What we're going to look at next is often the most surprising part for people. We've talked about muscles, sure, but creatine's energy-boosting effects extend to our most demanding organ of all, our brain. You might not think about it this way, but your brain, it is an absolute energy hog. Even though it's just a small part of your body weight, it chews through about 20% of your total energy. That incredible demand means it needs a constant, reliable fuel source to stay sharp. And this is where creatine comes in. It's really helpful to think of it like a backup battery or a power pack for your brain cells. So when you're tired or stressed or you just haven't slept well, your brain's primary energy can dip. Creatine just steps in to provide that quick, accessible energy to keep all your cognitive functions online. So what does that actually feel like in real life? Well, it means pushing back against that afternoon brain fog.
It's not having to search for that word that's right on the tip of your tongue. It's about reducing those frustrating senior moments and just feeling mentally clearer and more focused all day long.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get to the how. And honestly, the best part about creatine is that even with all these powerful benefits, actually making it part of your routine is incredibly simple and straightforward. Here is literally everything you need to know. First, just stick with the classic 100% pure creatine monohydrate. It's the most researched and it's the most affordable. The dose is simple 3 to 5 grams a day. That's about 1 teaspoon. Don't stress about the timing. Just take it whenever you remember. But here's the one rule you cannot forget. Drink extra water. Since creatine is pulling water into your cells, you have to make sure you supply that water. And for anyone who's worried about adding another complicated step to their morning, don't be. It's just a fine white powder. It dissolves instantly in water, tea, even coffee, and it has absolutely no taste whatsoever. It is one of the easiest supplements to take consistently for sure. At the end of the day, this isn't about some fad or a magic pill. It's about understanding what your body fundamentally needs. It's about providing a key building block that supports your own natural processes for making energy, for cell health, and for self-repair. The combined effect, even after just a short time, it's really powerful. It's not just about one single benefit, but this holistic improvement. It's feeling mentally sharper, physically stronger, and just more vibrant. Really, more like yourself. So, we'll leave you with this question to think about. Has the intimidating marketing, has this long-standing myth about this simple, effective compound maybe kept you from exploring its benefits? Perhaps it's time to look past the label and just focus on the science.